What's good, everybody? It's when I come back at you with another video. So this video, I wanted to share a message that I came across online that speaks on the truth of your life and who you actually are and how you can begin creating your dream life beginning from now, right? You don't have to wait tomorrow. You don't have to wait for next week or next month or next year, right? You can effectively begin creating your dream life and attracting the people, events, and circumstances, the things that you want to experience in your life, right? Beginning right now in this moment. So I'm going to share with you the post that I came across. It says, every day you wake up, you have power. The power to choose your thoughts, choose your attitude, choose your outlook. This is what sets your vibration and causes what happens in your day and life. So we're going to break this down because, the version of me that existed many years ago prior to, investing myself in the personal development space, this would have went right over my head. But because I've spent so much time reading, learning, growing, this right here is the truth, right? Every day you wake up, you have power. You have power to create. You have power to decide the direction you want to take your life, right? And it says you have the power to choose your thoughts. Why is that? Because you, of course, can think the thoughts that you want to think, and depending on how it feels, determines if you're heading in the right direction or not. Because your emotions are like your GPS. And you've known this innately. You've known this since birth. Why? Because when you think positive thoughts, you begin feeling positive emotions. And when you feel positive emotions, you feel good. You feel amazing. You feel your best. That's always been a sign. That's always been a clue. But most people are oblivious to it. Most people, they just see emotions, as just feelings, but with no other meaning to it. But your feelings are literally your sixth sense, right? Similar to how you have your five senses of sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing, right? Your five senses. Your emotions are essentially your sixth sense. But most people don't see it that way, right? Most people are unaware of that. And so if they feel negative emotions, it's just them feeling negative emotions. Or if they're feeling happy, of course, they feel good, but they're not aware that those feelings essentially serves as their GPS. That if you're feeling good and you're feeling amazing, then you are on the right track heading towards everything that you desire. And if you're feeling negative emotions, that's your GPS basically saying, hey, wrong way, turn around, right? So it says you have the power to choose your thoughts, choose your attitude, choose your outlook. This is true, right? When you wake up in the morning, you can decide how you want to feel, right? In any moment in life, you choose how you want to feel. Just as you can choose to be angry and frustrated when someone steps on your shoe by accident, you can choose to smile and laugh about it, right? And say, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a shoe, right? Like it'll get cleaned up. You can choose to have a positive outlook. You can choose to have a positive attitude, right? Some people, because they've been down and on their luck, or down and out, they feel down and out, or life hasn't been treating them the best, they live their life with a negative attitude. They wake up and they're feeling angry and frustrated at the world. So if bad things have happened to them, they feel in their right to be angry and frustrated because nothing has gone well for them. However, that vibration of negativity is what's continuing to attract more negative events to them. So it's essentially a cycle. And on the opposite spectrum is true, right? Just the saying, the better it gets, the better it gets. It's that same idea where if you're feeling good, you're feeling amazing, good things are happening. So because good things are happening, you're getting excited, right? Because good things are happening, right? And so it ends up being a cycle. So you can choose your attitude. You can decide how you're going to feel, how you're going to approach the day, right? You have that choice. You're not being forced to feel a certain type of way, right? You can choose that, right? You can choose your outlook. Some people have a positive outlook or view on life. Many folks have a negative view. They may have a pessimistic view. And it could be because, their mind, they are absorbing all this information of negative things that are happening, either in the lives of other people from conversation or for what they see in the media. And so they accept it as a truth and reality of the world, that it's a very hard and scary place, right? That bad things happen all the time. And so that's their outlook. So if they feel that way about the world, they're probably not going to be happy about it, right? But you can change that outlook, because good things happening to you all the time, and good things are happening to people all around you all the time. And there's many reasons for you to be excited, because there's so much to look forward to in life, right? So you have the power to choose your outlook in life, right? It also says, this what sets your vibration and causes what happens in your day and life. This is also true. And you've experienced it yourself, right? Because some people will say, hey, Joel, this is a lot of baloney, right? This is not true. But you've experienced this yourself. You've experienced those bad days where you may have started your day on the wrong foot. Say, for example, you had an alarm set to wake up for school or work, and then you overslept your alarm. So now you're racing out of your place, right? And you accidentally stub your toe on the bed, and it's a lot of pain, right? So you're frustrated about that. And so you're running, you throw on some clothes, and you realize it's you just run out not thinking. And then shortly after, it starts raining, but you forgot to grab your umbrella. And so you're getting rained on. And you stop somewhere to go get a coffee. And then as you grab the coffee and you're sprinting, whether to your vehicle or to public transportation, and then you might accidentally have tripped and then spill coffee on yourself, right? Like, we've had those days where it feels as though it started off on the wrong foot, and it feels as though we just can't catch a break. Right, that it just seems like one bad event happens after the other, and it's just sort of an avalanche for the rest of the day, right? That is literally your vibration that's attracting all these events to you, because what you're vibrating, what you're putting out, is what you're going to receive in your life. So that's why this is also true, right? There's a saying, when your attitude is right, the facts don't count. And the reason for this is because you can have all of these facts in your life. They can all be negative facts. They can all be bad things, quote unquote bad things that you labeled as bad, that's unfolded in your life, right? The saying, when your attitude is right, the facts don't count, is because when your attitude is right, which is you feeling happiness, positivity, feeling good, vibrating gratitude, joy, love, when you're feeling this, when you're vibrating this energy, when you're feeling those feelings, you're putting out positivity. And so that same positivity will be attracted back to you, which will be in the form of people, events, circumstances, and it'll help improve your situation. So that's why the idea, or the saying, when your attitude is right, the facts don't count, it's also true, right? Because your attitude, right? Just here in the quote, it says you have the power to choose your attitude. Every day you wake up, you have power. And choosing your attitude is one of the things that you can choose. So if you have a positive attitude, that is how you begin to change the circumstances of your life, that you begin improving your life by having the right attitude. Right? Oftentimes we were raised as logical creatures that we need to find the answers to do things, because that's how we were brought up, that we need to look for the answers. But there's so many events that have happened to you or unfolded for you that you didn't have an answer for, that you can't explain, or that someone basically did all the work for you to deliver you something that you've wanted. You can't explain that, right? You're not smart enough to predict that, right? So that's part of life, right? That's happening in life. So remember, it says every day you wake up, you have power. It's no surprise why in this society you see it all the time, where people are fearful of the economy, fearful of the job market, fearful of this market or that market, fearful of the future, fearful of, their country or these countries, going back and forth, right? And it's done on purpose. It's done to have people feel as they're victims, to feel as though they're at the mercy of the world around them. When in actuality, once again, every day you wake up, You have power, and your power is in your emotions. Your power is in your attitude. Your power is in your outlook, right? So this is why you want to be the one in control. If you are constantly letting your environment or other people make you feel negative emotions, then you're always going to be at the mercy of other people. You're always going to be at the mercy of the events around you and the world around you, when it's supposed to be the opposite. You're supposed to be the one in control, because you can control these things, right? So this is why, if you want to reclaim your power, this is why you want to step away from mass media, right? Because then when you step away from that, you realize that life isn't also bad, that actually life is pretty good, and that, life, that good things are happening all the time, right? And then you can be in control of your thoughts, because mass media, or television, or just scrolling through social media, everyone has an opinion about everything. And so if you're just constantly consuming what other people have to say, then how are you ever in control, right? Like, of course you can control who you want to follow and all these things, but it's like, when are you ever in control? When are you ever going to think for yourself, right? It's so easy. It's much easier to control people, thousands of people, millions of people, billions of people, when people aren't thinking, right? Because it's easier to not think and just be told what to do than it is to think for yourself, right? You thinking for yourself, that's how you reclaim your power. Every day you wake up, you have power, guys. You're not a victim of the world. You're not at the mercy of all these things. You have the power, and you've always had the power. And so with this video, I want to continue to remind you that you do have the power. You want to choose the thoughts that make you feel good, because as you feel good, you're on the right track towards everything you desire. Everything you could ever want is going to be delivered to you, right? And having the right attitude, right? The saying, when your attitude is right, the facts don't count. Because oftentimes the facts are physical facts, right? But it's superseded by the law of attraction, right? Because you can say right now, it is a fact that I'm broke. It is a fact that I'm single and I don't have a partner. It is a fact that I'm living in this situation and, I'm not in my dream home. Well, when your attitude's right, the facts don't count. When you're feeling good, when you're vibrating the right energy, when you're positive, when you're excited, when you're optimistic, that energy will begin changing your circumstances for you, right? And this happened numerous times. This happened countless times. You can go online, read different stories of this happening to people. I have plenty of stories where this happened for me, where something I didn't know was going to happen magically unfolded for me, and I had to do little to no work to make it happen, right? That's the universe. That's life, right? So that is how you can change your set of circumstances, right? This is why every day you wake up, you have power, and it's your job, your duty to protect your power and tap into that as often as possible. This is why you need to get excited. This is why you need to smile more often. This is why you need to feel good, because you are not a victim. You are not powerless. Regardless of what media and everything else wants you to believe, you are not powerless. You have all the power. You've always had all the power this whole time. So with this video, hopefully this video helps awaken you to that true power and help to remind you of who you are and who you've been this entire time. Well, that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road, guys, to 1 million subscribers. So once again, show out, and I'm out. See you guys for the next video.